Hello and welcome to another Castaway show where we choose a film or movie or script that gets thrown on our desk in an alternate universe. And this week it's Highlander.
Well, there can be only one. There can be only one.
Well, there should be only one. But maybe a chance to maybe do a whole thing done right.
Yeah, well, according to the script, he gets the prize at the end, so there shouldn't be any sequel.
No.
Maybe there could be a prequel TV show or something, or maybe just prequel movies.
Or maybe they could make it up as they fucking go along. Like that.
Maybe they could. As long as they don't make them aliens for outer space and screw over everything they've done in this first million.
Because that would be really silly.
That would be idiotic. I can't imagine that anyone would do that.
Well, I forced myself to watch the fourth one earlier, and it totally goes against all the timeline of the others.
Watch the fourth one. This is just a script that we've had. There's been no film made called Highlander made before.
Oh, sorry. I'm going down a totally wrong track. That's a completely new video for next week.
Yeah. Can Martin borrow that video if you're going down the wrong track? He likes that sort of thing.
I'm open-minded.
What's the bet? And he's got Auntie Vala's Rachel.
From across the dawn of time.
Right then.
Actually, this would be great. From across the dawn of time, they were hidden until we showed ourselves. So we cast away.
I feel like I'm in an episode of Still Game. First up, Conor McLeod.
There was an idea that Sean Connery had for doing a voiceover at the beginning that he was going to record in his studio.
Yeah. So, Conor McLeod.
Conor McLeod. I've got three.
I've got three.
So it's Highlander, a battle of immortals across time till there can be only one, and they get the prize. And then fighting in modern day New York, but starts off in 1500s Highland Scotland.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to go Conor McLeod first. I've got three definitely. There's a fourth one possible.
For me, it depends on age, because the person who come immediately to mind, and whether he's too old, is Ewan McGregor.
He's too old. You look into it in the script, he's supposed to have just engaged in his first battle. Now, I reckon if you can get someone who looks between, say, 20 and 35, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I thought he was too old, so I'll scratch that.
49 is just a bit too old for it.
I'm down to two. My other one is based on age and based on acting ability more than anything else. Not necessarily body build, but we could get him in the gym. And that's Andrew Garfield.
Great actor. Cannot knock it at all. He's a great actor. He did really well in Spider-Man. I've enjoyed him in his different things and all that.
The reason why is this
guy for it, where he's
Conor McLeod starts off as this young, brash, innocent person who stumbles across the fact that he's one of the chosen ones, and we don't need somebody spectacularly built or an action hero. We need an everyday person who stumbles on it.
I think you could do with a good actor, but somebody who could do the action, if possible. Especially my choice of directors would really like to work with people who could actually do the physical acting and just rehearse it.
And my third choice is Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah. No, I thought somebody would go for Charlie Hunnam. He looks the part.
And that's it. That's my thing. You got
all those three are wrong. Martin?
I went straight away. I thought Highlander. I heard their original idea was just to get somebody in, an actor, and teach them to speak English and Scottish. But I went against that. I actually went for a Scottish guy first off. I went for Richard Madden, ex of Game of Thrones, and
he's one of them. He's one of mine. Perfect, Martin. Well done.
He just made a break into doing the Eternals. I thought he could be the guy. my secondary choice to it was, funny enough, another guy who's already done a Marvel movie, but he's out of there. Aaron Taylor-Johnson, 30 years old, kick-ass. He can play the innocent kid. He can play soldiers as well as he has done in various stuff. He could play the hardened-up sort of guy. And he really bulked up as well in the later years. He could be interesting. And my third option really was Taron Egerton, once again, 30-31. Bit small for it, but once again, he's very physically active and he can really push himself into doing the role right.
See,
I think they're all that sort of age where they could play a bit younger and a bit older and get away with it.
I thought Richard Madden for a bit because Connor was the last one I was trying to cast because I found him a bit difficult where the others were really easy. And the other casts, when I come up with them later, you'll see why I didn't do Richard Madden because it would be Game of Thrones does Highlander.
That's your fault.
Yes. But I do like Richard Madden.
Okay. Going down that same vein. Yeah.
Ant, what you got?
Ant.
I also went Richard Madden and Gerard Butler, but
Butler's a bit
he might be a bit old, but I think he could carry it. That's the thing. I think you need somebody who's a star.
Better as like Angus or something like that.
I think Angus is quite a lot older character, isn't he? He's the one that saves him, isn't he? He's the one who.
He's the father for him going there.
Yeah, I just think he could carry it, but Richard Madden would be probably my first choice if that was agreeable with it.
Gone for Richard Madden.
I'd also got three. Let me give you mine. So I'd got Richard Madden, who I thought would be perfect for it, a little bit younger. The other one, who is my favourite choice, is a guy called Sam Heughan, who's the lead in a program called Outlander. So he wouldn't have to go too far away from it. He's 40, so possibly a little older, but he can do the action. He's rounded enough, and he's small enough in terms of size of character, in terms of the size of the actor. He'd be bob on for it. And
wasn't he the vampire in Being Human?
I don't know.
He wasn't he? He was a vampire in Being Human.
In the British version.
Yes.
The original.
Yeah.
And he's also very, very Scottish, so that helps. And a complete curveball is Nkuto Gadwa, who was in Sex Education. If you want to go 2020 and diverse, that's an option as well for you. But my favourite has got to be Sam Heughan.
Scotland that he comes from, that kind of the idea of diverse.
Yeah, I know. And we do need
Scotland was very much white.
Yeah, we do need to look at that. But Sam Heughan from Outlander, I thought was going to be bob on for it.
I'll go with. I liked him because I liked Being Human very much. I think he's made it's a little harder to make him look younger now than it was maybe 5 years ago.
Richard Madden doesn't look like a young bloke, though. I've got to be honest.
No, 34. He's easier to make look younger. You can do him down a few years and do him up a few years. I mean, I quite liked Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Taron Egerton simply for younger guys who could once again do the same sort of things.
I just don't like Aaron Taylor-Johnson. Just don't like him. I can't stand the bloke. He's a knob. So,
yeah. There's a reason behind that because his acting ability is first class. I mean, from Nowhere Boy, Kick-Ass, Quicksilver, The Wall. He's done some really interesting stuff, and he's a really good actor.
Yeah, plus, I wouldn't class him as a great actor, though. I don't know. He does just something about him. He's one of them kind of blokes that you just want to slap hard with a fish.
So it sounds like Richard Madden, then?
Yeah, it sounds very much like Richard Madden.
I'll go Richard Madden as well. Everybody agreed?
We agreed.
Richard Madden.
Right then. Next, Brenda.
Who wants to go up? I've got three, but I favour one.
I've got two.
I've got two, and they're almost. I wheel them out every week.
We know what Dave's are then.
And you got any for it?
I've got just the one. I was thinking Nicole Kidman, but mainly because she's got that. Well, she's got that authoritativeness about her. It's that.
I think
I think the fact he's hundreds of years old himself. He could go for somebody older. I think Nicole Kidman maybe is a little bit too old out of the cast there, but she's interesting for it.
Yeah,
You know,
he still would. He still would. Let's
yeah.
make it clear. He still would.
make it bluntly obvious, of course.
I've gone for somebody quite plain, and who for me is the role, because she's the kind of person who could carry off the reporter who stumbles across this by accident quite well. Bryce Dallas Howard.
Bryce Dallas Howard is good again. Once again, she's slightly older, but no problem, because she's once again, she could play across the age, and she's only very slightly older.
And my other choice is Tessa Thompson, the Valkyrie out of Thor.
Yeah, no, Tessa Thompson was one of my original sort of ones as well. Dave, you want to hit us with your regular choices?
Linda.
No, it's not that obvious. It's got to be somebody that could match up with Richard Madden. So Lauren Cohen would be one of my choices, because I just think she's fabulous. And the other one is Amy Adams. So either of those doing that role would be ideal.
I think Amy Adams is too old for it as well. And
I don't know, up against Richard Madden.
I don't know.
I think she's old for it as well.
I think the role's a bit small for Amy Adams when I thought about it. But Lauren Cohen would have been good.
A big Oscar-nominated actress.
It's very Lois Lane as well.
Yeah, I know. I thought that when I said it. But Lauren Cohen would have been my first choice, and in fact was the only name I put down. I just put Amy Adams there because I put her down every week pretty much. So no Zendaya this week.
No Zendaya this week. She's a little too young for most of the parts on there, unfortunately.
She's too young for Richard Madden. Yeah, that wouldn't work for me.
And she's too young to be a police forensic psychologist or whatever it is.
What's your Mark?
I've got the three choices. I thought maybe Blake Lively, maybe Margot Robbie, and I thought, no, the one I'd like to put in for it, she's done action roles herself, she's still younger, done a lot of TV, done some movies as well. Adrian Palicki. Former Bobby Morse. Adrian Palicki. Bobby Morse. Yeah, right. Bobby Morse out of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She's the assassin in the John Wick one as well, the female assassin who breaks the Continental Code. She was cast as Wonder Woman in a series that went nowhere. She's just been around for a while doing small parts. This could be a nice role to help break her out. Fantastic. Great actress. If you want to throw in a bit of action to make the character a bit more interesting than it was, she could handle that as well. And she's
what have you got?
A lady in Practical.
And what have you got?
I went for Nicole Kidman. I kicked off, didn't I? But
yeah, of course you did. Yeah. Sorry.
He was a bit old, but I think we make up.
You know, you've just said, Martin, you've just said something that's made me think of somebody else. You just brought up Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I've just thought Chloe Burnett, whatever her name is. That's the right name, mate.
Chloe originally sort of thing.
Daisy.
Yeah, 28 years old, so she's just about old enough to have done it as well. One particularly excellent book, but she's a good actress.
Somebody that's got that educational background and been a London.
That's what I thought.
All the things that give her that authority.
Really, because she's not your atypical female action hero, and we don't need a female action hero in this movie. We just need your everyday woman who's an office worker who stumbles across it, and I thought she fitted in perfectly.
She's not an office worker who stumbles across it. She's a police forensic psychologist who stumbles across it. That's also an expert in swords and has wrote a book on this ancient sword.
This is why I said Lauren Cohen out of Walking Dead. This is why I said Lauren Cohen out of Walking Dead. She is that person. It's just not zombies. It's immortals.
Really. I know you suggest her every week, but she's not really, is she?
He just likes Maggie.
She's great.
I know you're someone that can carry that authority of having books and a good education, and obviously all that stuff about being a.
Who's your favourite out of the ones that we're arguing for here? And
I think you need to convince me more. Who's your main one?
Bryce Dallas Howard, the girl who's in Jurassic World.
See, I'd kind
Yeah,
of go
could do
for
it.
Howard at the moment. I think that's not a bad choice.
I'm steering more towards that than anything. Again, these roles aren't easy. She's not a massive
major part.
role. She's
No.
obviously more of a. They needed somebody to fill the part, didn't they? More than anything else. So it's. I don't think
I'd be all right with Bryce Dallas Howard. I don't think that's a bad show.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that.
Okay.
She's an actress for the role. She's a nice sort of.
There were just so many choices there. We had about 8 or 9 on the go.
Yeah.
So it was,
Right then, next one. This was another tough one until I realised who I needed to be. This is Kurgan. I mean,
I've only got one.
I've got
got
one. Who's your one, Dave?
Jason Momoa.
That did great because the Game of Thrones thing again, once again, yeah. He's just a really big guy, physically powerful and everything.
See,
Maybe not as evil like as I don't know whether he'll want to play the evil role, but
I've gone Game of Thrones and I've got Rory McGann. You probably won't know the name, but he's the guy who played the Hound.
yeah. And he was in the last Triple X thing, wasn't he, as well?
Him there. He's the
yeah,
Kurgan.
I have to.
Yeah.
I've got him too, and Dave.
He actually acts like
Batista.
Kurgan.
Yeah, I've got him, Rory McGann, and Dave Batista. Just on size and presence, and he needs to be that looming character, doesn't he? That almost he's there to scare the audience.
He's the warrior that scares the crap out of everybody.
Yeah, he needs to have that looming presence.
I went for Dave Batista or Dolph Lundgren. I still think Dolph is he's a guy who's had experience handling a sword. He's absolutely massive. He's got that Eastern European thing going on in his favour. He looks evil and he's still really, really imposing. He's massive and imposing and everything. And he's got experience with a sword.
We just have to be careful with this film that we don't suffer from the Batman voice problem, where everyone's sort of talking through somebody that isn't needs to clear their throat before they talk, maybe.
Yeah, but for the Kurgan,
we must make sure that doesn't happen in this film.
Well, it depends for the Kurgan. Apparently, they've sent a voice test already from some of them, and they're quite likely. Listen close, I've got something to say. It's better to burn than to fade away.
Fade away. Yeah, that's
See, the problem I've got with the Hound or Rory McGann is, can he pull off that little bit of campness to his evilness that perhaps this role needs? What you've just said. He can play nasty, he can play a bastard, but can he play psychotic campness with it a little bit? Because that needs that bit there.
Well, he sort of plays that in Game of Thrones, doesn't he? When he goes to live in that religious community, doesn't he, for a while?
But
so he does play that softness.
I see he's my favourite, but like I said, I struggled with this. But like Martin's just said, Dolph Lundgren, and can I imagine him spinning around, clicking his heels in a church and saying it's better to burn out than to fade away and that kind of thing?
He does say straight away.
I was also, I did think Tom Hardy for a while, but he's been crossed out of my list. So I did think Tom Hardy, but he's been crossed off my list. So I think Dave Batista,
I can't see him. I don't know whether I could see him being that flamboyantness that we need from him. I don't know.
He could do evil, but could he do flamboyant evil? I don't know.
See, this is why I was pointing. This is why I was pointing more to Jason Momoa, because he could do all of this that we need. Some of the silliness going through the discos, playing that psychotic, got a bit of an edge, and he's huge. And have you seen the guy throw an axe? He knows what he's doing. Dolph Lundgren, with the greatest of respect, you would tag on. He's got a bit of baggage. It would be a little bit. Would he be taken seriously? I don't know. He's just got a little bit of that. He's a bit naff.
We're coming down to age as well, aren't we? He's got to be able to be throwing that sword around and.
Well, he's done all right with the Expendables only recently.
Yeah, I get that, mate.
He's still very, very capable physically. The guy's always been in amazing shape. He's martial arts trained. He's used to following instruction. Yeah, Momoa's also, he'd be one as well for it. Momoa, your main problem is getting Momoa to do a villain role. Momoa's very much based on hero roles and stuff like that now. When's the last time you saw him play a villain?
Well, he was a sort of bad guy in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and how long ago was that?
Not that long ago.
That was like his one bad guy role. Every other time you see him, he's playing the hero. He seems to want to push towards playing the hero. There's a chance for it because, I mean, his exotic look would sort of like switch around to a lot of things. He's a really big guy. He's physically capable and everything as well. Fantastic. I just think Dolph Lundgren would be a cheap option. He'd be physically capable of it. He's an actor who's not fucking brilliant, but for this role, he's kind of perfect.
Hang on, just let me do something. I'm just checking on Twitter to see if he's died. No, he's still alive.
We knew we were going to come up sooner or later.
You know what?
One and gone.
I'd be okay if we went Dolph Lundgren. I'm not overly precious, and it is, you know. Mark, what do you think? Ants, come on.
I don't know.
I'm still Rory.
Dolph Lundgren for me. I don't know. I just think
he carries too much baggage with previous encounters with this
it'd be too much
genre.
like He-Man, and then Jason Momoa too much like Aquaman. I don't know. It's a tough one to choose.
I just, if he dies, he dies.
See, that's it. Dave has just crossed Dolph Lundgren off the list because I can't go. I'm sorry, Martin. I ain't being a cunt on purpose.
I'm hanging up.
He's gone again.
I just can't take that serious. Not Dolph.
I'm struggling with Dolph Lundgren as well. He's.
I know why.
Childhood.
You know what? If it was 20 years ago, I would have done it.
Yeah. He can still do it, but you guys don't.
I know he can.
Who are you going to go for?
My only issue is, right, and this is why Jason Momoa is starting to creep in, is these are guys that they reach a certain age and they're immortal, whereas, so what we're saying is Dolph Lundgren has hit his mid-60s before he's become immortal. Are you with me?
No, he's gone around hunting people down. No.
They had an idea for Sean Connery being in it, and he was going to what in his mid-60s, sort of, when he became immortal.
Okay.
Yeah, you can become immortal at any age. Whether you could be a kid and be immortal, you could be an old man and be immortal. You're immortal.
I just think, for me, the other reason I thought of Jason Momoa. This and Ramirez are the two. These are the leading roles, and I know bloody Conor McLeod's meant to be the lead role, but the stealers of the film are the Kurgan and Ramirez, and you need two big guys. And I don't know if Dolph Lundgren's got the pull that he had when he did Masters of the Universe and he did Rocky IV. Whereas I think Jason Momoa would pull people in. But like you said, Martin, you need somebody that's
What do you think?
You've already been out. Pick the next guy. Pick who it's going to be.
Yeah. What are you thinking about Tom Hardy?
Oh, too short and completely wrong for it.
Cross him off.
He's supposed to be the massive black warrior that's scared on the battlefield.
See, my favourite all along here was the Hound, but my problem is with the guy who plays the Hound is, can he pull off that role that we need? I'm just going by the look and the way he acts, and he can be a
he could play a great villain, definitely. He could play a great villain, but he would be a proper hard villain on it. I don't think he'd have... If you want to add that slightly over-the-top floweriness occasionally to it, out of the people that you've left on there, with you having crossed off Dolph, I'd say that Jason Momoa is the only one who could do it. It's will he do an evil role now?
All right, hang on then. Why don't we pause on the Kurgan, because we've got to get the right Ramirez.
Ramirez is easy. It's easy, right? It's a Spaniard with a Scottish accent. It's David Tennant.
Well,
David Tennant's perfect.
He's an Egyptian who passes the post as a Spaniard with a Scottish accent.
It's David Tennant. I've got David Tennant down. I think he'd be great for the role.
That's
Don't
a
you think
terrible choice.
Would you get away with that these days?
You are?
Would you get away with that these days?
No,
The moment is that cultural appropriation.
I don't know. I don't think they really care. It's Highlander, isn't it? We ain't not bothered. Right. And
It gives me a third choice.
my serious option, though, is Antonio Banderas.
I have that written down too. Yeah.
I'll
So I
put
think
Antonio Banderas as my
we could
first.
carry it out. Yeah.
But I'll put Rami Malek as the second, which is once again he's immortal Egyptian, he passes a Spaniard.
I got Rami Malek down.
Yeah, and my third choice was, okay, you're talking immortal warriors, I'll put Keanu Reeves. You know that he'd studied
Who is immortal anyway? Yeah.
And he is immortal.
I'd got Rami Malek, but when I got Richard Madden down, I thought, is Rami Malek going to be old enough to make it look like, yeah.
He needs to have that authoritativeness about him again, doesn't he?
So I went older.
They're immortal, said you can become immortal as a child or older. So that's why Antonio Banderas was my first option. Then I thought, no, Rami Malek, if you want to go the Egyptian route and play it around, and he's a good actor and he just play the role as if he's ancient, but just in a younger person's body. And then Keanu Reeves, just because he is the fucking immortal warrior.
But my second choice, so I got Rami Malek was my first. My second choice was Idris Elba. I just think he'd be brilliant in that mentor role. And we know he can handle a sword.
The massive sword from Thor.
Yeah. I just thought he would be brilliant as Ramirez.
Fantastic.
I can't get Antonio Banderas out my head for the role, I've got to be honest.
He's got the sword.
Is that the Spanish link, though? And then it turns out he's not Spanish anyway. He's born in Egypt, isn't he, in this script that we haven't yet read.
I just think he's that.
And his next
perfect. He's got that perfect. He's got that bench. It's just perfect.
So, look, can I just say then, if we're going for Antonio Banderas as Ramirez,
gone for,
and I'm okay with that, we have to have Jason Momoa as the Kurgan then, because having Dolph Lundgren,
that's where it's heading anyway.
Having Dolph Lundgren and Antonio Banderas, it's not going to get bums on seats for me.
Agreed.
Yeah, I disagree, but it's votes. That's the way this one works. So. Yeah, let's go for it. That's it. Momoa is Kurgan.
Okay.
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas is Ramirez.
As Ramirez, a Spaniard.
Right, next question. Let's go back a bit. Can you see Jason Momoa fighting Richard Madden?
Yeah.
Does that work in your heads?
I've no clue.
Yeah, I think you need somebody stronger for the Connor role. Somebody that, like you say,
it's like that French-speaking guy who couldn't speak English. Isn't a big, strong fella.
A bit like Sam Hewen out of Outlander. He'd have been a brilliant, and him and Jason Momoa would have leathered each other.
Johnson. Yeah. At least he is built to do a full range.
Very physical roles, aren't they? The Kurgan role, the Connor role. They spend half of the script in what is a virtual lightsaber type duel, from what I've read.
Do you feel like
it's David stronger in Connor's role? Somebody stronger in Connor's role.
What are you saying?
Somebody.
Do you feel it's David and Goliath?
Oh, fucking hell. One of you at a time. Someone put their hand up and speak.
Is it David and Goliath enough?
I think it's too much.
How tall's Richard Madden?
So Richard Madden is 5'10".
Yeah, so it's a believable height to fight, but it's going to be enough that it'll make it look David and Goliath as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd still buy into Richard Madden then. I think he's looking for a role to break out.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going Richard Madden. Okay. So what's the next role then?
Heather.
No, I've got Frank Moran next.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
I've got Heather next.
Everyone's got Heather's on your list.
Shit, I've missed Heather.
Yeah, well, we'll make a start. I got one. So this is
Yeah, I've
somebody.
got one.
Yeah, I wonder if we've got the same one. So this is somebody,
Hey,
preferably. Huh?
Go on, young, attractive Scottish lass. Or
Young, attractive Scottish lass. Karen
Gillan.
Gillan. Karen Gillan.
Yeah, Karen
Gillan.
Karen Gillan, yeah. I don't think there's anything else. Just Karen Gillan,
No?
yes.
Yeah.
If you swap the sexes, Karen Gillan would be my choice as like female Conor McLeod as well.
Yeah, yeah, she'd be great.
Have you got?
Yeah.
No.
I also went Emma Stone.
For the Scottish, for the wee attractive Scottish girl, Emma, wee Emma Stone. Hey.
Hey.
Across the border, coming at you across the bridge.
At least
she's alive.
Mouth covered in shortbread and a wee arms full of skag. Hey, coming straight at you. Hey,
Fucking Emma Stone.
I think she could. You need somebody attractive to the role.
She's far too big for this tiny little role, really.
yeah, but I liked his other idea, Marilyn Monroe. I mean, I think she could be quite good.
Hang on, I'm going to cross her off the list now. It's Marilyn Monroe.
And this Elizabeth Taylor bird you were speaking about, I mean, she sounded quite good.
We have to do a castaway purely with dead actors one week, just so Ant can get a few in.
Right.
Are we agree, Karen Gillan, then, yeah? Right then, Lieutenant Frank Moran. I've got one person down for this.
I've got one.
I've got Forrest Whitaker.
I've got a chap who's mainly been a voiceover actor, but he's done small roles in a lot of quite important sci-fi films like Starship Troopers and Buckaroo Banzai, and a guy called Clancy Brown. He's actually quite an interesting actor.
Yeah, he'd be quite good.
Yeah, he really would be quite good in it.
And after all, we do know his name.
Yeah. We know his name. I know his name.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not precious about it. I'd got Jeffrey Dean Morgan because I like to shoehorn Walking Dead people into my castaways. And I just love Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Who'd you got, Ant?
I went Patrick Dempsey. Just as, again, he's not a major role. He's somebody that needs to carry a bit of authority, but he's also made to look stupid at least a few times in it. So that's why I went for him. Somebody that could just carry that off.
I went Forrest Whitaker purely from the fact the age range, the stumbling,
Acting
ability, the stumbling, what the hell's going on around me type of thing. I think he's perfect for it.
I like Forrest Whitaker a lot. I like Clancy Brown. I think he's just a cracking little actor. It's a small role. He's kind of got the presence and everything for doing it. He's got the voice. He's done plenty of voice acting, but he's also done lots of normal acting. I mean, let's face it, this is a guy out of like The Green Mile as well. Sorry, no, Shawshank Redemption.
I've got no problem with that, but I'm just thinking about in terms of
great stuff.
I'm just thinking about in terms of the age that we're in and having a black cop, aging black cop in New York trying to find out what the hell's going on is more relevant with the times than having...
Well, I did have.
That's quite racist just to cast him because of his colour.
No, I wasn't even thinking that at all.
That seemed quite racist to me.
No.
If he's the best actor of the role,
Denzel Washington for the role, but I don't know what other people think. I thought he could.
I would say, who's the oh crikey! I was thinking the actress who plays the head honcho in Suicide Squad. I think she was in Luke Cage as well.
I just think Denzel Washington would be way too big for it.
If you want to get some value out of it, switch the sex and the race.
Yeah.
In fact, Angela Bassett would be a really nice choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go Angela Bassett, and she'd work well with because isn't she sort of working with the one who plays Roxanne as well? So her and Bryce Dallas Howard would work quite well, wouldn't they?
So based on that, we'd have to change it to Frankie Moran.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's it.
Yeah. Angela Bassett's quite a good shout.
Mm-hmm.
She was good in a film called Black Panther.
She's excellent in Strange Days, even Green Lantern. She was in a bad film. Once again, not performance. But she's never bad in a bad film. She does.
She's cracking in American Horror Story stuff as well.
Yeah.
See, I haven't seen that show, but I've heard great things about it. So, well, it's always been Strange Days. They're always like sold me. I thought she was fantastic when she took an action role.
I'm more than happy to swap the sex on that and go with Frankie Moran. That's a good.
Should we do that?
Yeah. That's like a winner.
Great. Well done.
Spur of the moment choice. There we go.
Yeah, we like that.
Rachel, I've only got one for this.
I've got two. I've got
Susan Sarandon.
Nice. I went Ellen Mirren. But if she's going to the war as a child.
Jodie Foster, you have to bear with me on this, because she can't be attractive enough for him to wander onto, if that makes a bit of a Woody Allen thing going on there, isn't there?
Oh,
so she has to be unattractive enough for him not to fancy.
She's attractive, but he's raised her as his child. She obviously has fancied him, but now she's becoming way older than him and stuff like that. So it's just an interesting actor's role, really. I thought Helen Mirren
in the Woody Allen
being a child in the war, been saved by him, still be alive now, and yet still look attractive and be able to play across the whole range of, like, you know, having been young and now being older.
Well,
she's obviously saved herself for him and then got past the best, hasn't she?
I went a lot younger.
Still attractive,
I went a lot younger, but I did go Jewish. So I got I went for two. No, not quite. I went for two. I'd got Alison Brie or Eva Green, and you just had to age them when she becomes too old for him. But that's who I went for.
But Dave, you know this role she plays her as she's old all the time. There's only her as a young child.
Yeah, no.
She's aged all the time in the film.
Okay.
All that I'll say is don't read the fourth script.
So I'm quite happy.
All I can say is let's just do it on a whim.
So to be fair, though, I think Helen Mirren actually is a really good shout. Or Maureen Lipman. It's Maureen Lipman. There you go. Done.
Oh, God.
Oh, dear.
It's got to be early 50s. Somebody early 50s. It's got to be someone early.
From World War II, early 50s.
1980 something. It's set in the...
He saves her in World War II.
Yeah.
From the Nazis.
So
if you say 45 and say she's about 10 then, you probably got to scale it down a bit, like make her between 5 and 10, somewhere like that. And then you figure that's another like 60 years on top. So somewhere around 65 to 70, so 70 or so.
So when are we saying this film is
it set? Is it set now?
We said it's current day.
It's set current day, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be in the 90s.
No, she's going to be about 75, 70, isn't it?
Martin, where's your maths, mate?
She's going to be her 80s. Yeah. It was 75 years ago.
I mean, still, Helen Mirren or Susan Sarandon can play an 80-year-old easy.
The only other thing we'd have to do...
Mirren works for me. Based on that timeline, Mirren works for me.
Okay. What were you saying, Mart, about changing the war?
Well, I said you could change the war, and so you could put someone in of a different age there if you wanted to. If the actor, like, you know, a better choice, make it a different war that he's like saved them in. Could be in the Vietnam War or something, anything.
I was going to say you could do that, and then you could really change it up if you was in Vietnam and saved a Vietnamese girl from
but
it.
you see, we'd lose that line about like to the master race. Then you see.
Well, yeah.
No, I'm happy with Helen Mirren or Susan Sarandon, whichever two. They're both of equal star quality.
But if we stick to that sort of rough thing, then yeah, we'll play around with the time sort of idea on it.
Okay.
And just a choice out of them. They're both fine quality actors.
Have we got a favourite? Anybody?
Don't mind. Love both of them.
And
Mirren works for me.
you tell Helen Mirren then.
Cool. She is lovely.
And she probably will do a bit of a flip of them as well.
Of course.
Right then, last role, Angus MacLeod, Connor's dad.
I've got two.
I've got two here for this.
I've got three.
I'll give you my two. I've got Ian McShane or Robbie Coltrane.
I
went on a slightly different vein. I went Brendan Gleeson. So I thought he could carry that role well.
See, I went for thinking people who could be his dad when he's supposed to be like between 20, 30 sort of thing. Then I thought either Gerard Butler, Dougray Scott or Ewan McGregor, all of whom are like sort of late 40s.
So here's the one then. So think again about Richard Madden, got to be older. I went for Peter Capaldi.
Be Peter Capaldi.
I think it'd be terrific.
He'd be fantastic, but a bit skinny to be like the massive guy, unfortunately.
I just
the attitude of it brilliantly, but he'd be more the guy who like the healer guy or something like that, just being a cunt instead though.
Yeah. My other option, so I've got
too clean for it.
Yeah, so Peter Capaldi, and I was deadly serious. I love Peter Capaldi in it.
He's a great actor.
My other one was Tommy Flanagan, who was in Sons of Anarchy and whatever, the guy with the scar on his cheek.
Oh, yeah, the multiple scars guy, yeah.
Yeah, again, he'd be great as well. He was in, wasn't he in Robin Hood and
Assassins?
Yeah. I think he'd be brilliant as well. And he's authentic, it's that authenticity, Scottish. So, yeah, either one of them for me.
Gone to bits. All three of mine are Scottish.
I mean, I'm again. It's one of them. I'm not precious over it. I just want to put Peter Capaldi in something because I love the bloke.
I think Ewan McGregor would actually look a bit like Richard Madden, sort of physicality-wise and everything as well. I think they could sort of pass off as family, but Gerard Butler's just that big, imposing leader guy. I mean, it's the role he plays in A Voice, How to Train Your Dragon and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's what he played in 300 and stuff. Dougray Scott's just, he's quite a good, deep, intense Scottish actor, but I prefer Ewan McGregor or Gerard Butler out of my two on it.
I'd prefer Gerard Butler.
Do you think he looks old enough to be Richard Madden's dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially in 15th century Scotland, them banging them up as teenagers. This is when the average life expectancy was 30.
Yeah, no, Gerard Butler for me, and I just think it's maintaining that authenticity. The guy's a brute. He's big, imposing. Yeah, he could train Richard Madden up well.
He looks and sounds like a Scottish leader of a fucking Highland tribe.
He does. You know what? It's Bob on that. I'm not going to argue with that. I think Gerard Butler's perfect.
Yeah, I'll go with that as well.
Yeah.
Have you got a director?
Do you mind if I throw an extra guy in here?
Oh, yeah, go on.
To cast him. He was one of my favourites. He's only one of the minor characters. It's Sunder Castigear. I really like
the one who
the African Eternal.
Yeah, he gives him the drink on the bridge.
Nothing wrong with a little boom won't hurt you.
A little boom, yeah, water.
You're really a big man like you is not scared of a little boom.
Yeah.
What's the character's name again?
It's Sunder Castigear.
What?
SUNDER.
Every time you get to speak, it cuts out. Martin, say it again.
Sunda, Sunder.
Yeah.
Castagear, Kastagir.
And who you got down as that?
I've got a choice of two for that. I thought, depending on whether you go younger or older with it, I thought John Boyega could be interesting. Plus, he's got lightsaber, a bit like sword training recently. Or the other idea was Tweet Elijah Fuel. Simply great actor.
I prefer John Boyega.
Yeah. As soon as you mentioned him, I went to Idris Elba. As soon as you mentioned the role,
I thought Idris Elba as well.
If you wanted older, Idris Elba.
Choice as well. Idris looks like a warrior.
I think Idris Elba. I've got to be honest.
I'd be down with Idris. The guy's a warrior through and through, isn't he?
And his star quality to
mention his name.
Yeah.
Well, you're considering this is supposed he's appearing when they're supposed to be down to what is it, the last 4 immortals.
Yeah.
Idris looks like he'd be one of the last 4 in the
He'd make it. He'd be down to the semi-finals, wouldn't he, Idris?
Oh shit! Yeah, get the crap out of you on the way. Frankly, I can see him doing, big man like you, not scared of a little boom boom.
Yeah. Love it. Great.
Anybody got a director in mind?
Not losing easily.
I've got a couple of ideas for directors.
I haven't got anybody for director, but I've got a great band to do the music.
Excellent.
It's got to be the darkness to do the music. I'm sorry.
One for Justin Hawkins.
Sorry, yeah, I was focusing on the music. Like, oh yeah.
You can imagine
argument for me.
Them doing Princes of the Universe. Oh, that'd be terrific. Sorry, directors. Carry on with directors.
I've got 2 choices for directors, and they're both directing teams. And I went for the John Wick guys, Chad Stahelski and David Leitch, or the Russo brothers.
I've got the Russo brothers.
Well, yeah, you think action, you think, although the pair of them worked together on Captain America Civil War, wasn't it? Because they got the Stahelski and Leitch to direct the airport scene. But I just thought they both know how to run a team. They both know how to drill action.
I've got the Russo brothers or Damien and Weiss, the people who did Game of Thrones. But they're not really directors. They only did a couple. But it's the Russo brothers, really, for me.
Anybody else?
Have you got anybody?
I'll go with the Russo brothers.
Yeah, I'm happy with the Russos. They do a great job with this.
It'd be a great thing for them.
Right then, so we just run down what we've got. We've got Connor McLeod is Richard Madden. Brenda is Bryce Dallas Howard. Kurgan is Jason Momoa. Ramirez is Antonio Banderas. Heather is Karen Gillan. Lieutenant Frankie Moran is Angela Bassett. Then Rachel is Helen Mirren. Angus McLeod is Jared Butler. Sunda Katag, whatever his name is, Idris Elba. That's him. The director, the Russo brothers, and the soundtrack by The Darkness. I was a little bit as we were going through, but now I've just read it all out. It sounds fucking great now.
It's a great film.
I think The Darkness might want to work though with some like Clanad.
Yeah.
All the proclaimers for that true Scottish feel.
I'll say it's a great. We're getting into a habit. 5 on the spin, innit? 5 really good castings
5
again.
hits, 5 potential hits.
No, I've gone through it. I had a bit of a wobble halfway through, thinking, is it going to work? But I think that's going to work.
This is a great cast. Bloody hell. I'm not used to this. I'm used to Martin telling us, well, that's a load of shit we've just made.
I mean,
mainly it is a load of shit, but we've done really well on these.
We've managed to do an entire castaway without casting Warwick Davis or Matt Berry, which is...
See, that's a shame. I was looking for a role for Warwick Davis. You know who I think Warwick Davis would be great as, though? The immortal that he fights first in that underground car park.
Yeah, yeah.
The Polish guy. You imagine
It'd be very...
one-sided.
Count Dooku, that would, wouldn't it?
Well, it's either him or Matt Berry, you can feel it there.
Yeah. Matt Berry, there can be only one.
Oh,
you imagine Matt Ramirez?
Matt Berry as the Kurgan is still my favourite. That'd be great.
Right then, there we go. I'm just going to stop it there. Say bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
There should be only one.